Welcome to Naps and Taps, episode 2. Marcus, what's going on?
So we were just talking about your first bit of comedy bit, right? Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me. I've only got like 5 minutes.
No, don't do it. You were saying like you were losing your hair.
Yeah. It's that's why I'm on it in a hat every week because I'm 37 and starting to show the V, but it's been kind of like...
Yeah, it's a little bit.
And it's receding. It's kind of on full retreat, just going like LeBron James, pushing the headband further.
LeBron James has got it bad.
His headband now starts there.
If he's not LeBron James, it's going to be a problem. But luckily for him, he's LeBron James.
Exactly. But yeah, I think is he just going to wait until he retires to like fix that shit up? Like, you know how like a MMA fighter doesn't want to get the cauliflower ears drained until after he
Oh, is that right?
I heard because rugby players get cauliflower ear too, so in New Zealand it's a thing. But like I got told that like you can only drain them once. Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've been told.
That you can only drain them once.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, apparently, maybe it's bad for you to because I don't know what they actually do to drain them, but maybe it's actually bad for your ears to have that process done more than once. It seems plausible to me when I heard it, but I never questioned it. And I heard this I'm old, so I heard this back in the days of dial-up internet and no phone in your pocket, so I didn't actually stop to be like, let me check this out. I've just been repeating it as fact for the last decade and a half since that time I heard it.
It's so weird that a lot of the things that I've been told as a kid now, it's just fucking nonsense. Yeah,
There's a dude who rolls at TBJJ that better hope that it's nonsense because he's like a white belt and he got cauliflower ears and he had
the skinny black guy.
Yeah, he had one of the tutors drain his ears.
Really?
Yeah, and so he better hope he can do it more than once because if they come back.
So you can only do it once in your life?
Well, supposedly but like I said, this is the thing I didn't Google and
that's the thing.
Can't
that's going to be the thing that's going to make me quit jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
If that happens to me, I might have to just call it quits.
I might get forced to because my girlfriend thought, jiu-jitsu's cool. My boyfriend's like, don't know, my ears are fine. What are you talking about? They're good.
Are mine okay?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I was telling my girlfriend about cauliflower ears, and she wasn't happy about the idea at all. And I was like, no.
I have enough challenge picking up chicks as it is. I don't need an extra. Hey, let's make it a little harder. You know?
Check out these ear situations. I'll have to get those hats that also have the flaps on them.
Yeah. Talking about what you said about your comedy bit, have you ever, because you've just kind of started, you're just kind of finding your way, have you ever killed hard?
No, I wouldn't say I killed, like I said, the first time I got up and there were a few citizens in the crowd as opposed to just comics, I got a few laughs, which for my first time was kind of surprising enough to me. I was expecting to really be up there being and then this happened and it was so funny, but no, I kind of actually managed to. I still had to look at my phone to sometimes.
You went up with your phone?
Yeah.
Come on.
I did. It was my first time.
Okay.
And I kind of was each bit I could do perfectly. Say a bit was a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. Each bit I could do well enough. But just because of being in front of people and being a bit nervous, I'd be like, oh, what am I going to talk about next? And I'd just glance at the phone and it'd have the headline of my next topic, and I'd be like, okay, bam, then I'll talk.
I remember I told you this before, but I had a really a crazy start to comedy.
Yeah.
My first time I killed so hard.
Yeah.
I surprised myself. And I had, how comics talk about killing and how you have this out of body experience and you feel like you're in control of the world, you're God. You get this God-like feeling. So I got that the first time I tried comedy, and the people were coming up to me in the bathroom while I was washing my hand, going, hey, dude, that was amazing. I was like, holy shit, this is the easiest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then, so I had this huge, enormous ego, because when I first started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna bomb. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna suck. And then that changed everything. And then the second time, it was also quite like that. And then the third time was the time I ate it.
Yeah.
And that was
too far away from me.
I got carried away. So, it's gonna be easy. And then the third time, I kind of I was just off. Or, I don't even know. I still don't even know why. And then it just fucking happened. What is your least favorite race?
My least favorite race? Man, you're killing me. I'm gonna be that group. I'm gonna say just white people from New Zealand are my least favorite race because you're allowed to self-hate. So
exactly.
Fuck those white Kiwis.
I was just about to say that was the smart. You passed. You passed. That was it. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. I was gonna say
that's why I left because fuck those white Kiwis.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say black people, but then I went to Chicago and I lived there for 4 years. I kind of sympathize with them.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite TV show is The Wire. Have you ever seen The Wire?
I've seen the first 2 seasons, but then I kind of like got.
I highly recommend The Wire. I mean, you gotta really look into it. You gotta give it time. You gotta give it your attention. You know, some things like some music, some comedy, it grows on you, right? The Wire is exactly like that. And after watching my favorite show, The Wire, like 10 times on repeat, it's like Breaking Bad for most people. You know, Game of Thrones, and that was mine. And then I kind of got like empathy for a lot of black people, like in the struggle, like urban, and then living in Southside Chicago, I saw exactly The Wire. I thought I was living in it. So like I thought like black people would be scary, but no, my least favorite people, even after all this world travel, is my own. Yeah. Like that's why I'm not home. We're both exactly the same.
Okay, so I thought. I'm kind of glad you talked yourself around in that circle. I thought for a second there is like, oh no, I'm going to be like one half of a podcast that's going to be taken down for race hate. But you've kind of, I think what you're saying
that's
here
exactly
is,
what I'm doing.
I think what you're trying to say here is that you used to have prejudice in your heart for a group of people that you didn't know, but now that you've grown to know them,
and that's exactly where racism comes from. Ignorance. You know why my grandparents are racist? They fucking hate everybody. Everybody's grandparents are racist, right? My grandparents, they hate Japanese people. But you know why? Because of the war. Because of how Japan invaded China and was raping everybody, literally. Literally raping everybody. And how do you not? It's only human nature to hate Japanese if you're Chinese and you see them raping everybody. And my grandmother told me stories about how they had to cut their hair to pretend to be boys. Because the war and everything. So I understand. I get it. But it's just ignorance. They never got a chance. Historical circumstances. So I get it. And then they were obviously pumping me full of racism when I was growing up. You know, they would call other races nasty words just like coming out of their mouths. There's no filter. There's no filter at all, really. And then so I was like, okay, but I guess black people are horrible and going to Chicago. And then getting to know them, knowledge, beats ignorance. That's what I'm preaching.
That is the key. I just want to segue way out of this. Did you watch UFC 230?
No.
Somewhere on the
too
TV?
Busy with a lot of stuff.
Fair enough. Well, okay, tell me about it's been 9 days as opposed to our usual week. What's Marcus been up to? What's been going on?
I've been doing a lot of music. I've been working on a lot of because it's so fucking hard to be a musician. It's hard to be a comedian. And
you're trying to do both.
Yeah, I'm trying to do
your
both.
Head into the wall.
Exactly.
On
you know how fucking I love music so much, but I fucking hate musicians. They're the fucking worst. They're exactly like me. They think they're the greatest fucking artists in the fucking face of the earth all the time. And you can't buy musicians. That's the thing. Like, you can give them money and they'll still turn it down. Like, I know a guy who's a fucking baker in Loblaws part-time. He's got nothing going for him. He's a 32-year-old virgin. I'm not going to say his name. He's a fucking loser. He's fat. He's overweight. He's never had a girlfriend. He's done. I got him to play guitar for me. And
probably not going to play guitar for you again if he watches this, but carry on.
Exactly. And then he quit on me. In the middle of the fucking, he was just I feel like I need to go in another artistic direction. I was like, motherfucker, you can give them money and you still. I mean, I wasn't giving him money, but he was just playing music with me for free, and I can't even hold on to people, and it's just a nightmare to get a band together. So now I'm going on my own, just a solo artist, and it's been going great.
That's the one benefit for
comedy.
Trying to be a comedian is that apart from when you want to get together with someone on a podcast and you're just hoping they're not going to kill your podcast by cussing out an entire race or something. Apart from trying to start ventures like that, it's mostly a solo effort thing, and you don't need to worry about other people's schedules and other people's visions.
That's the worst.
And it's still it's weird for me. The one part that I'm going to have to get used to is still having to it's all about networking and playing nice and in
the comedy world, you mean?
Yeah. And part of it is I'm reasonably active on Twitter, but I'm not as active as I would be if I didn't have a day job and the worry of someone from my day job seeing me being outlandish on Twitter. And the appeal of one day making it big as a comedian is man, I'll be able to do whatever I want. I won't have to worry about a boss. And then I'm like, oh man, but if I piss people off, what if I upset agents or like or bookers or all that sort of stuff? And I'm like, and I realized that pretty quickly. And I'm like, God damn it, you're just kind of shifting the problem a little as opposed to ever
That's why like now with this day and age with technology, it's like so much better to just manage your own shit. You know, like before, like how bands relied on labels and they would just rape them with fucking like royalty or whatever, like 90%. Like bands keep like 12%.
Yeah.
Do you know, of ticket sales or whatever?
It's pretty crazy.
And then they have to split it within the band, so they make like even imagine like maybe Radiohead. They can like how much do you think a band like Radiohead makes per show? Like, how much do you think each member? Because I'm pretty sure they divide it evenly.
Yeah. I don't know how much. It should be a lot, like, regardless, but I think, like, Radiohead's almost a bad example because they're probably, like, they're probably killing it so much that they don't care that they're...
That's true. But, like
making...
But it's just the percentages. Yeah. It's so low. Yeah. Maybe they don't even make that much, you know what I mean? They have promoters, they have crew, and they're whatever. It just gets trickled down to almost nothing. And before, with... And that's just a big band. That's a huge band. I'm talking about a huge band. So like indies, they're nothing. They're probably negative. You know, their whole careers negative.
Yeah, it's kind of like
red. Is it red or black? Red, right? Red.
Red's when you don't have money.
Yeah, red. Yeah. And the red, the whole fucking careers, and that sucks.
It would. I mean, it's kind of like
most comedians do. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many comedians you know. How many comedians do you know?
I don't really know that many personally.
Yeah, I know comedians who are like Uber drivers and like waiters and like working at coffee baristas. A lot of them, their whole lives, and they have a large following. We're talking like 6,000, 7,000, 10,000.
Wow, it's kind of almost a little depressing. Yeah. It's a interesting one. Would be the hard step to make because like I want to do more open mic nights, but at the moment my like day job, like I've got a 6 a.m. alarm because I need to be there by 8 after all the commuting and like getting up and getting ready and all that sort of rubbish.
Day jobs are the fucking worst.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad job, but like it's the start time is the one killer.
Do you get to take advantage of your day job? Because like when I had a day job at an IT brokerage firm when I was the cloud guy, the cloud specialist, and I just had so much free fucking time.
In case my bosses or anyone living at the at the place I work is watching this, I've never written a blog post or never sort of fleshed out a concept for a bit on stage.
But what you don't get is like there's no such, especially for comedy, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah. You know, even if you say something bad. People, if that goes viral and like you're like, let's say you're like a notorious whatever, like you shit on whatever New Zealanders, and if people hate you for it, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this kind of format, I guess people do want to sort of see what a bit of the drama is about.
You gotta see the pattern. Like people are attracted to just bizarre, absurd things. When you look at the most popular videos, it's like people getting hurt. You know, it's like like Jim Jeffries was famous for getting beaten up on stage. You know,
that's true. Yeah,
that's how he got. That. Did you remember?
Yeah. The guy who attacked him in Manchester.
Yeah, exactly. And then like that's kind of like his in, and he used it. You know what I mean? So
I'd still rather not get beat up on stage, but. You know.
But what's the worst thing that? I mean, you haven't been that long. Though.
That'd be like
What's the worst thing that?
Wouldn't that be like a great viral video if someone tried to attack one of us on stage?
Yeah, exactly.
And like we actually armbarred the guy.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was just gonna say I would triangle him. You know what I mean? Yeah. What would you do? Because like as shitty as we are in jiu-jitsu compared to someone with no jiu-jitsu, we would fuck them in the ass. Like so, it would be so bad.
It's funny that you say that because like rear naked choke would probably be like
that's true.
My first
you know what I would do? I already imagined it. Yeah. You know, because I've done. You know what I would do? Let's say you were a crazy fan and I'm the comic, and then like let's say you're a fan and not someone attacking me.
Yeah.
I would do this. Yeah. Handshake, and then I would arm drag, take the back rear naked choke. Isn't that hilarious?
Just to someone actually trying to like be your fan and say,
because you never know. You know, 2 words: John Lennon.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, probably if I'm a promoter, I'm not going to book you for meet and greets now. That's like a massive liability issue. But yeah, I would. I guess it just depends on what they do and how good my jiu-jitsu is by the time they're doing it. Like,
what's your favorite dirty cuss word to say? Like, when you're alone. Nobody's watching and you stub your toe on the corner of your bed. What's your favorite thing to say?
Probably either like fuck or cunt. Like one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. The New Zealanders drop the C-bomb a lot more.
Yeah, I love the C-bomb. I love that shit.
Than everyone else. I remember, like, I went on a
white people here take it way too seriously. Yeah, especially fucking white women.
I still remember, like, 2011. I went on like a boys' drinking trip to like Vegas and LA.
Yeah.
All of us from New Zealand, and like we were having like breakfast the next day after our first night out drinking, and we just like. The C-bomb back home can actually be a good or a bad thing. Like,
hey, cunt.
Like, yeah, it would be like no more like if we were like out drinking and we met, like, the scenario of this was we were out partying the night before and we met these like two dudes from somewhere in the US, and they were kind of drinking with us for a bit before we went our own ways, and like someone at the tables, you know, they're like, oh, that dude we met from wherever it was, he was a good cunt, and like, you know,
yeah, exactly.
And you know,
people take things way too seriously. It's like, about context, like Chris Rock said.
Yeah, exactly. Context. So we were like having our breakfast, and we were like dropping the C-bomb sort of in every sentence, pretty much. And I kind of looked around the room.
I call my mom a cunt.
Yeah, you should call your mum a cunt. That's like a bit far. Be good to your mum. We were just. The C-bomb was running rampant throughout our conversation, and I looked around the restaurant at one point, and there were like tables. There were a couple of people within hearing distance who were like, you know, visibly horrified by us. Yeah. And I kind of tried to tell the boys to like, hey, we're in the US now. They don't like it, and settle down. And I think that lasted for about 30 seconds, and then it all went back to our usual vernacular.
You can't even say bitch now.
Really?
You can't even say bitch.
Man.
I was like calling one of us, our BJJ friends, one of our BJJ colleagues. I'm calling him a bitch, like as a fucking joke, clearly. And then some guy, all the guys were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I said, "What the fuck?" Well, first of all, we're in a martial arts gym.
Yeah.
I'm calling another dude a bitch as a joke, clearly, and people were like, "Oh, holy shit!" That's why I'm like, comedy. I don't know. Maybe I should just do music.
Were you on the mats?
Yeah. It was like we were like getting our shoes and shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you finished up, and yeah. It's some people are just sensitive. I mean, there is like club etiquette, isn't it? You're not meant to swear on the mats, but I don't think bitch is a swear word.
It technically isn't.
Nah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But you know, some people are overly sensitive, especially in Canada and North America. It happens. So you've been training like I rolled yesterday, and I think that was the first time I rolled in like a week and a half or something, because I was away.
You went at 6? I went at 8.
Yeah, I was at the 6 o'clock one.
I went fucking hard with us white belt the other night. Yeah. Do you know Andre? Tattoos, 4 stripes, big. I think Mexican looking guy.
Nah, I can't pick him out at the moment, but I'm sure
he always picks a fight with me.
Yeah,
he's such a cunt. And we went hard at it. That's right, and he kind of got me, but that's okay. If Nacho, do you know who Nacho is?
Yeah.
Do you know Mike?
Yeah.
If Nacho fought Mike, who do you think would win?
Oh, actually, hold on. I don't. Which one's Mike again?
Do you want me to get his fucking Instagram? God damn.
No.
Mike is the other instructor.
Oh, Mike's the one who
with the beard.
Is he the one who works in like the cafe next door?
Yeah.
I've never actually. I don't know why I'm going through all.
Shit. Oh, you don't know him. You don't know him enough. Okay.
I don't know why I'm going through all this, because I've only ever seen Nacho as a coach. I haven't even seen Mike as a coach, and I've never seen either of them roll, so I wouldn't be able to tell you at all. Isn't Nacho? Are they both like head coaches, or I thought Nacho was a head coach?
No. Only George is the head coach, and those are like his lieutenants.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen either of them roll.
If you don't know, now you know.
Do you know if they're going up to like all the way to the Open at the start of December? Are they going all the way up to like
the annual?
Yeah, the annual. Sorry, are they going like the sort of black belts competing at that as well? Or
there would be so much fun if they do, but I don't think they're gonna.
They're not gonna have a black belt division. It's just
they didn't last time. It's gonna be most white and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the upper belts they compete elsewhere.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, they're off doing their thing.
Yeah, the Ryerson thing, the annual is for BJJ. So most BJJ people are white and blue belts.
Yeah,
because most of us quit. You know.
Yeah.
The attrition rate for white belt is so fucking high.
I can imagine. I'm still seeing like new faces coming in
every day.
But then again, people probably wonder where I am, seeing as I haven't rolled in I think yesterday was like close to 2 weeks even, but definitely at least a week and a half. But you know, I was away in New York, so that kind of like makes sense. I'm representing for the Knicks here. But yeah, so the Open, you're going to compete. I don't think I'm
Annual.
The annual. Why do I keep on saying the Open?
Because you're thinking tennis.
Yeah, exactly. the Toronto BJJ and annual Open tennis tournament. Yeah, I'm not going to compete. I'm tapped. My bank account's screaming for me to tap out. So yeah, is what it is.
That's the worst kind of tapping out to tap out to.
Yeah, exactly.
But are you gonna come though? Are you gonna watch?
Yeah, probably. Like it's December 1st, right? So I'm trying to think. I know it's UFC 231 the next week. I don't think I've. I have. Actually, it's a good thing I'm not competing because my girlfriend has got a work Christmas function on the Friday before December 1st. So me probably competing at a Jiu-Jitsu tournament the day after that, probably not going to happen. And I went to New York by myself and left her in Toronto, so I pretty much need to now. The next couple of weeks is pretty much just doing whatever the fuck she wants to do to make up for the indiscretion of having a solo holiday. I shouldn't make it sound like a ball and chain thing. I want to spend time with my girlfriend. She's cool. But yeah, so I won't be competing.
Do you think your girlfriend is the one? Do you think your girlfriend is the person you want to,
Well, you don't know that until you actually pop the question and you get a yes or no. But put it this way, she's like, I'm not pining for an ex-girlfriend. Like, she's definitely the happiest I've been out of any of the girls I've been with is with this one. So
How long?
A little over a year, I guess, 13 months now, close to, I guess. So
my girlfriend now is also the best I've ever had.
Yeah. So there's no regrets.
How many girlfriends have you had?
I've only had before her 3 or 4 serious ones. So I haven't really. And I've been single for long patches. This is my longest relationship at this age I'm at now. And even when I was younger, how you see people that have to be in partnerships. To be fair, half of it's my own doing. Actually, I should say it's 50-50 my choice / external conditions. And that you remember how The Hangover, how Alan's yeah, that's why I stay single, and Brad Cooper's character's really? That's why you're single? In my early 20s, there was not really much game to speak of at all. It got marginally better in my mid to late 20s, but still wasn't really much.
You're a fucking comedian. How do you not have game?
I've only started being a comedian in recent years. Even high school, I wasn't really the funny guy at school.
Really? You were never the funny guy in school?
Nah, not at all.
Really?
I played a lot of sport, but no, I wasn't.
I got into so much trouble for talking shit.
Nah, I was never really that guy.
I got into so much trouble. My teachers would come up to me. We lived in a boarding school.
Yeah.
My teacher would come to my bed to tell me off, to shout at me. Do you know that? Do you know how fucking weird that is? Because we live in a boarding school. So I had 2 teachers come up to me when I was fucking jerking off, literally, in my dorm room, and just scream at me.
Is that the workings of a bit? Because that should be a bit. I think many people can't relate to the experience of. Yeah. Will probably see someone else telling that well and appreciate it.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been to a boarding school, so I can't.
Because I was racist. I was being racist to her. She was a French teacher, and I was she wanted to see me for something. I forgot what it was. And I went to see her, and I couldn't find her. She wasn't in her office. So
this sounds like the race relations episode. You're making me nervous with every story, but carry on.
So I was talking to my other teachers. I said, "Where is Michelle?" And then they were at lunch, and it was just 3. And it's I can't. How am I expected to find her if this fucking French bitch takes 4-hour lunches? I didn't say something like it was something like that.
Yeah.
It was something really bad because I was so angry. I don't know why. What was wrong? Because I was an angry kid growing up. Like a comic.
Yeah.
It was just fucking vicious. And then those teachers were like, I'm like, we're gonna tell her, and I was like, yeah, tell her. I think I give a fuck. And then Michelle came to my fucking bed and shout and just chewed me out.
Yeah, I've never been to.
That's the worst part about being in fucking boarding school is that teachers can find you in bed. Yeah. Imagine you went to a normal school, you think they can find you?
No. I'm pretty sure boarding schools back home would have some sort of rule about teachers not being able to go into the boarding houses whenever they choose. But I guess
rules like that.
When you're in Hong Kong, they'll do it. This is in Hong Kong that happened. Yeah, I guess the rules are all bets are off there.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So. Fuck. Should we hit pause on that? Okay. Call it part 1, and we'll come back with part 2. Probably talk New York and UFC. Yeah. Welcome back to part 2. So. Yeah, I went to UFC. You
New York.
you didn't even watch it.
Knicks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big Knicks fan, long suffering. So I guess we'll quickly go through UFC, being that you didn't even see it. I think I went 3 for 5 from my picks, how I was picking fighters. I picked DC to win, which I'm pretty sure almost everyone in the world picked DC to win, so I'm not really propping myself too much for that. I had Robertson to win, and I had Adesanya to win. Adesanya got a Fight of the Night bonus, so that was pretty sick for him to step up on like the big stage in New York. Probably his toughest opponent to date in the UFC, and he just dominated him. Like Brunson, he kept on shooting for takedowns desperately very early. Like Brunson just realized he wasn't going to be able to compete with him striking early on, and he was like 0 for 5 for his takedowns. It was to the point where like Adesanya was just like, just face washing him and just mushing his face as he pushed him away. It was kind of embarrassing, and he caught him with like. Have you seen any highlights of the UFC at all? Or
no, not yet. I'll get around to it though.
It's worth watching. I mean, I think the last time Brunson shot for a takedown, Adesanya caught him with a knee when he was shooting, and that was pretty much. It didn't finish him off instantly with that knee, but it was pretty much the end of him. Like Adesanya threw a few more shots after the knee, but it was like the knee that got him. What's up, Kat? What's up, Kimmer? Joining us again. It's funny how you text me telling me that you actually have an Instagram account for your music, so you never did, and I was just following the Cat, the Instagram account that's just like the cat and food. And did you see the video description and the description I added to the account of this last week? I was kind of like, because I of course run the YouTube account, I put down like all my social media, being that I actually have some, and I was like, and I said something like, well, Marcus one day might get an internet presence, but until he does, follow his cat and our occasional co-star Kimmer here. So if you've got any new follows on the cat Instagram, that's why she's It's a she, right?
Yeah, she.
She's kind of fascinated by the tripod case and the tripod.
Yeah.
It's funny. I wish we'd taken a behind-the-scenes photo of... This is podcast number 4, the second one under this name, 4th one overall. And before that, we kind of had the setup where I put the camera on paper towels and folded up some towels to give it an angle. But it was on a table that Kim is... familiar with.
Oh, you know why I named her Kima?
Kima, why?
Because of she's my favorite character on The Wire. There was a cop, lesbian cop on The Wire, a black cop, who was like this really great female character. I think one of the best female characters. So like, it's just different, It's a great. That's fair. I'm not going to go into it, but I named her after that character because of how much I love The Wire. Like I just said.
Proof. My co-host, he's not racist, named his cat after an African-American character. And
I'm only racist for comedy.
That's proof enough for me.
Hey, you know what you just said about like how you had no game with women before? Because I went through the same thing. Like, what do you think was the Why were you not good at women? Because I would like our podcast to help other, because you know the guy who quit on my band, the guitarist. His name, I was just gonna drop his name, but I think the reason he quit on me was because I was actually trying to help him. Believe it or not, I was actually trying to help him with everything, with his life. I was trying to help him musically. I was trying to help him like with girls. Yeah. Because he had no game, and I was trying to tell him that you need to like make them laugh. You need to do all these things, and you need to like trying to put on a show, like a performance. I was telling him these things, and he just wouldn't have it.
Well, maybe I don't know, man. Like, I kind of have to go into his corner. Like, maybe some dudes just want to play music as opposed to and have a band partner as opposed to before you're going to be anyone's life coach. Like, do they want a life coach?
Maybe that'd
be like no. I'm life coaching you on being a life coach right now. It's meta.
That makes sense, but. Like, cause I was there and I kind of I've known him for a while. Yeah. So I kind of he's one of those tortured artists. He's like, I need help, but he doesn't want to admit he needs help.
Okay, you're reading the room. I respect that.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to help, and I guess he was just so sensitive. He was just too sensitive.
I guess I
was trying to give him a little tough love.
My late teens, early 20s, it was just sheer shyness, and it's something I've obviously gotten over now in every aspect. Like that's why I would have never done stand-up comedy at that age, because of not wanting to be in front of a room of people and potentially fail in front of people. And it's also why like I had no game with girls, because like I'd still go out with my friends drinking a lot, especially like university. I'd be drinking like 3-4 times a week sometimes, which is probably why I was at university for so long. But that's another matter. But yeah, I'd often just go out with my friends and not even talk to like a girl I don't know like the whole night. Like, you know, I would had no game because I didn't even try to have game. It's like it would be like someone showing up to their first jiu-jitsu class and being like, oh, I'm no good at jiu-jitsu, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, you know, just shyness and anxiety and not wanting to talk to girls at all. And of course it like perpetuates it because you never talk to them. Like, you know, I mean, people should be themselves, and like I wouldn't advise like using one-liners you've read off the internet, or like a plan, or even like copying any of that pickup artist bullshit. Like, people should just be themselves. But
you don't believe in... I know I had a drummer friend who, again, was like... That's the thing with artists. Like, they're so fucking bad. Like, he again had a problem with getting girls. Maybe that's why people want to be comedian and musicians and actors. Because it's like, you know, it's like a call for attention.
They kind of like think it'll fast track them, and the fact that they're like fumbling. But what I was trying to say is like, yeah, be yourself, but like... Girls want you to be yourself, but they don't want you to be like a sort of bumbling...
They want confidence. That's what they want.
Looking at your shoes version of yourself, like a confident version of yourself.
My drummer friend, he actually paid for a dating coach, like a pickup artist. He paid a pickup artist to teach him game. That's sure how desperate he was.
I mean, I've seen that
I really want to drop his name so bad because he quit on me.
Did you see that...
pickup show?
The pickup artist show. What's that guy's name? Mystery or some shit?
Mystery?
Yeah, there's like a one in the US that ran a couple of seasons where like this pickup artist had like a competition for other nerdy dudes to then become another pickup artist, and like some of his co-coaches were guys who used to be like in the position of the nerds, and then Mystery taught them how to be the ultimate pickup artist. And like the problem is like, one, most girls are going to see through it pretty quickly, really. Like, you might get what you want out of them like the first night around, but they're going to see through it pretty quickly, and then you're going to need to, if you're like a shitty person, but that pickup artistry shit works, like it. But I mean, some dudes I guess want that temporary fix often and a lot, so it doesn't matter. But
so you're saying you're a long-term commitment kind of guy?
Well, I am now, obviously.
When did that change for you? When you got older, or have you always been a relationship type guy? Well, I actually think I'm a relationship type guy, even though I like pretend to be an asshole, try to pick up girls and everything. But ultimately, I think everybody. I guess like in my 20s, I wasn't really like trying to be like a swashbuckler and like. What is that? What'd you say? Swashbuckler?
Like, you know, like a ladies' man. Like
what is that? Is that New Zealand for ladies' man, ladies' killer?
Well, I didn't think it was like specifically New Zealand, but every time I say something and then someone's like, "What the hell does that mean?" Yeah. I think to myself, okay, maybe it is a New Zealand thing, but swashbuckler, like, you know, I guess it's like, you know, pirates with their swords or whatever.
Swashbuckler,
but
interesting.
But yeah, like I guess like I wasn't really trying to rack up numbers or be like a ladies' man, but I wasn't really I don't really feel compelled or the need to like have a girlfriend. Like, you know how you see those people who like are in a relationship, it lasts for 2-3 months, and then like they're barely like single a week or two, then they're in another relationship, and like I never felt the compulsion.
Did you know your guy friends were like that? Were your guy friends like that? Or your girlfriends were like that? I mean, like girlfriends.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's more something that I'd see in females, I know, to be honest.
You know why? You know why, right? Tell me why.
Well, I'll let you. This is the episode where we shove your foot into your mouth. You tell me exactly what your theory is.
It's because they can.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's true. It's what did 50 Cent had like the quote of like
fuck bitches get money.
Well, he had that quote. He had several quotes on the subject, but one he was actually saying in an interview. They were like, "Oh, why did you have the drive to become
a rapper?
Like a rapper? Why do you want to be rich?" And he was like, and he said something like, "A girl can walk out of her house, open the door, and sleep with any man she wants to within seconds of walking out the door. A man can't do that unless he's really rich. So I wanted to become rich." So that's 50 on the subject.
Yeah. Do you think guys are driven to succeed to get women, or do you think they're driven to succeed to succeed?
I think like maybe it's something that
Both, maybe.
it's something that maybe becomes part of our DNA. There's probably fabrics of our DNA that you literally can't understand.
Do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Yeah, I know.
Lobster hierarchy.
Lobster. I haven't heard his theory about it. I know
It's about men or males trying to climb the social hierarchy to compete to get females. Basically. Yeah.
It kind of makes sense. I mean, but for me, like,
and it's prevalent in lobster community as well.
I guess some of it, like, it might be in our genetics because of all that sort of. Just because I'm not a scientist, but just because genetics are what they are, and maybe that's why I initially start doing it. But I'm like feeling pretty happy with my girlfriend I've got now. Like, I'm not looking to try and climb the hierarchy or get a different female. I'm really happy with her, but I'm still quite driven to, like, you know, improve my lot in life. Like, you know, do more stand up, push this further. You know, and even like probably do some study that might legitimately help me get a better day job while I'm hoping to have the comedy and other stuff take off. And now,
why don't you do like something like more freelance? You know, like Uber, like something like Uber. Or
well, at the moment, it's like a residency thing as well. Like there are aspects of this job that I really like, which are helpful. So I'm not just trying to cover myself because I'm being recorded and I have a job. Like, there are parts. It's like any job. There are parts of it I really like. There are parts of it where I could get in trouble for venting too much on a recorded outlet.
Oh, let's worry about that shit when it happens.
Yeah. But at the moment, I'm also like gonna apply for residency here, and this job, because it's got supervisor in the title, and like I do have responsibility for training people here and there, it gets me good points on my residency application. And I need to be in this job for at least a year for me to get the letter from work that and also for the residency, I need to have a year's experience in the one job for just points and bureaucracy, etc. And I'm up to about 9.5 months now, so 2.5 more months definitely in there. And I don't know, I don't really. Uber driving would get you some amazing stories for stand up. Maybe
I was an Uber driver for a little bit.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, if every other comic is in the city is an Uber, then how unique is getting up on stage telling stories about the time you?
I never told any Uber stories.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have too many good ones. I remember one that I had to lift a drunk woman out of my car, but that's not that. That's pretty common.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine, like, maybe if you had to limp up on stage because you'd put your back out doing it, that'd be like.
I mean, I almost killed a few people. Like, I don't know. Just reckless driving.
I was about to say people in your car or people.
Stereotypical.
Yeah.
Bad driving.
Yeah.
An Asian comic wants to be an Uber driver.
How well did you actually do out of Uber driving money-wise?
I got something to show you, yeah. I actually did really well. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Actually, Uber driving is extremely lucrative if you know what to do.
Yeah,
like, it's all about the hours. First of all, Surge. Do you know about Surge? Oh, fuck, did I delete my Uber driver app? I deleted my Uber. Hold on.
Yeah, I know about surge pricing. I've been on the wrong end of it.
Yeah? I've paid for a lot of shit too. A lot of surge prices. Oh, they can rape you. But exactly, you drive for during surge hours.
Yeah.
And you just drive during surge hours. You know.
Yeah. How do you like?
From 4 to 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just drive from 4 to 8, and I can, like, obviously it's not like it's not set in stone how much you make, but it can get quite good. You know, it can be quite rewarding. Monetary. Oh shit! I was gonna show you, but I once made $100 in one ride.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
$100 cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because this girl wanted me to drive her to Barrie. Do you know where Barrie is?
Yeah, I know where Barrie is. It's like.
Have you been?
I've never actually. I've caught like the GO train to and from there because my girlfriend's from like Midland, which is north of Barrie. So we've gone up to. We've had our parents pick us up from Barrie.
2 hours, $92.
That's crazy that someone needed an Uber all the way to Barrie.
No. That's not the Barrie trip. That's just an average day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and here are my reviews. Music taste.
Nice.
It's always great because I'm a musician, right? So I play people music, and they like I enhance their ride. Here, 1 hour and 62.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I'm trying to find that snapshot where it was $100. this in a week, you know, and I got a lot. This is a tip. This is like 7 hours. I forgot where that, but yeah, you believe me, right?
Yeah. Actually. But I guess it's like, I don't know well, I don't even have a car, so it's probably a good reason that I'm not doing Uber here.
You can Uber Eats. Get a bike.
Fuck that. Not coming into winter anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I know.
Running
Do you know there's so many Uber drivers who are BJJs? You know, Dawson. Was it Darson? Black guy. Black belt.
Yeah.
Black guy, black belt.
No, I haven't met many of the other higher belts at the gym yet.
And
as well.
Paul, blue belt.
Yeah.
White guy. And I think some girls as well. Like they do Uber part time, and it's great. It's a great.
Be like no shortage of demand for it in Toronto because of the fact that most of the people in the city don't even own a car. Anyway, so back to UFC. The two ones I got wrong. I got Weidman wrong. I thought Weidman was going to win. Souza got him by TKO. And there were two unknowns that I picked one of the two with the better record, and the other guy won. Like Cannonier. Cannonier was also was the other performance of the night winner. So a guy I picked to not even win won and got performance of the night. Shows how much I know. Weidman's New York curse goes on. The guy from Long Island is now actually. That's what I didn't do last week. I thought Weidman was going to win because he's in his backyard. This is actually the second time Weidman's fought at Madison Square Garden and lost there. Like, poor dude, from Long Island, still trains out there, represents NYC hard, and has now lost twice at Madison Square Garden out of an otherwise pretty good record in his career. It's like, legit curse for him. He's considering stepping up to light heavyweight now, actually. Oh, that was the other bit of news I read today. Did you see the UFC has scrapped the 125 division?
Sorry.
See, I knew it'd shock you.
Sorry.
The UFC's scrapped the male 125 division.
Why?
I don't know. Well, because Mighty Mouse has left to one championship anyway, like in that trade with him and Ben Askren. But I suspect that
trade.
Yeah, man. You gotta start watching. You gotta start reading some MMA news if we're gonna do a BJJ podcast.
You're the BJJ guy.
Yeah, I'm the news geek.
Yeah.
Ben Askren Ben Askren has fought and won championship for a long time, and of course Mighty Mouse is. I hope you know who Mighty Mouse is.
The best pound for pound fighter in the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not so sure anymore. I'm just gonna run this all by you. I'm not sure if you know him, is what I'm saying. The two organisations agreed on a trade for those two fighters. Mighty Mouse has now been sent to one championship, which is Asia's, basically their biggest MMA fighting competition. And Ben Askren is like a American guy, wrestling champion, but he's been in one championship for a long time and is now making his way to one championship. To the UFC. I believe he's going to fight light heavyweight. He'll either be middleweight or light heavyweight. It'll be interesting to see where he fights because, of course, one championship has a no weight cutting provision, and the UFC doesn't. So I don't really know what Ben Askren's division, when he's allowed to cut weight, would be, if I'm being completely honest with you. But he's like a wrestling champ. He's not that exciting to watch because his wrestling makes him almost unbeatable, and his striking isn't really that great. There's highlights of his circling around the net where he's just there's a fight where he just is mercilessly shooting for. Can
you imagine being a fucking professional fighter?
Yeah.
How stressful that shit is.
I could not.
You want to be a comedian, you want to be a musician. These are all pretty insane jobs already.
Yeah.
They're out there. But being a fighter is just next fucking level.
Yeah.
There's athletes and then fighter.
Yeah. No one's gonna try and punch me in the face. Hopefully.
No professional fighter is gonna try to punch you in the face. That's a huge difference. Yeah. Because now that we know Jiu-Jitsu, if a regular guy tries to punch you, it's not some fat middle-aged worker who's pissed off about his boss and wife and comes to vent out his anger on you on the streets. We can deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Now, before, but I could deal with that shit before I did BJJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's what I was saying to someone after training yesterday about how I I didn't sleep really that well Tuesday night, then came home, had a very quick nap, naps and tap, what up? See, I lived that life. Like, a literally 10-15 minute nap, and I woke up and I was still kind of groggy and shitty. But I was like, I really wanted to get to the 6 o'clock class because I wanted to like meet my girlfriend for dinner after it. And if I went to the 7 o'clock, it would have been too late. But the logic I apply is like, I often will be like, if I'm too tired to go play hockey or I'm too tired to go to the gym, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm too tired, I can't be bothered. Easy to like skip a day. But with jiu-jitsu, I'm like, well, I may as well train when I'm tired, because if someone gets mad at me on the subway and I'm in a situation, I'm not going to be able to say to him, I'm too tired to defend myself today. Would you mind like leaving me alone? Maybe like I'll go home, have a nap, and then we can have a fight after I've done it. So yeah, I kind of figure I may as well train tired and get used to having to be in those situations.
Have you ever been in a fight?
Not a proper fight, nah. Not since I was like high school age or. Nah,
did you fight in high school?
Couple of times.
Because high school wasn't that long ago for me as it was for you.
Well, yeah, because we're talking almost like 20 years ago since I was last in an actual proper fight. Like I've sparred when I've been doing.
Maybe 10 years. Yeah.
Like I do. We roll all the time at BJJ, which is not quite the same as a fight because I know no one's actually going to punch me in the face.
Yeah.
And like I've done sparring for Muay Thai when I was in Thailand at that boot camp, but. No. The last time I was in a proper fight was probably high school age. Like the closest I got to one stage when I was drinking too much at university, and I was kind of thankful that my friends were there to like grab me by the back of the neck and like pull me away. Could have turned into a fight at, like, you know, one of those usual 1 a.m. drinking too much. One guy talks shit, another guy talks shit. But like, thankfully I had some friends around me that were a little bit more sound of mind, and we're just like, well, you know, we're out of here. So, but even since then, like university for me is like about 15 years ago now, so that's the last time I've really been even close to a proper fight. And like, you know, I don't really, even though we're training jiu-jitsu, I'm still not looking for fights on the street. I would still rather actually avoid them than even use the jiu-jitsu.
In high school, I played a lot of basketball, right? And like basketball, like any sports, like it's a lot of altercation because it's like semi-contact and it's a lot of like foul calling and a lot of shit. So I used to be in a lot of jiu-jitsu fight. But thankfully for me, I'm the tall guy in China. I'm really tall in China. Yeah. So I would just crush people. And I was the court bully.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really need much jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. Like a foot now that I know jiu-jitsu, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, now I wish people would pick a fight with me. I kind of wish it. But I don't know. Like, the people who pick fights with me, I know now because I've lived a bit. They're the ones who are like in pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They're the ones who are suffering. So like, if someone picks a fight with you, I kind of get sympathetic, empathetic, whatever.
There's all sorts of like, there's just so many reasons why I wouldn't want to do it. Like one from jiu-jitsu, I've kind of like learned, like even if I get the tap on someone, like maybe they've still put my arm in a position where it's like a little bit sore after rolling, and fighting on the street is going to be that amplified. Like I'm not that ruthless at the moment where I'm going to take someone out in like one blow. So I know that if I got into a street fight, like even though I might win it against the average chump, they're still probably going to like, I don't know, maybe get a shot in or claw me or like rip my t-shirt, and I might have a nice t-shirt that I don't want ripped, or just all that. So that even a fight you win, you're still going to like probably take a few licks, and I'm not even about taking the licks in a winning fight, to be honest. It just doesn't interest me. That, and like at the moment with me on my visa and and applying for residency, like you've got to be very careful because like there's what counts as like grounds for self-defense, but like I could still be potentially thrown out of the country for actions I would take in a fight that was brought to me, so it's just kind of like you just got to be very careful. Anyway, you got any funny news stories from your homeland or this land?
You talk about yours first.
All right, I got like one about some there's probably like another chance to bring up another New Zealand word actually. Mental health charity refuses Grundy run tainted donation. Do you know what I would be saying when I use the word Grundy?
No.
Gruts. Do you know what gruts are?
No.
Grundy. Gruts would be your underwear, or in this case, I've never really heard it called Grundy, but gruts is like underwear. So like, the first line is, a mental health organisation has refused a donation from school students after their fundraiser finished with a Grundy run. It's like a group of high school kids from high school boys from a boys' college in Marlborough, which is at the top of the South Island, wanted to... their end of year tradition is for all the students to like run through the girls' high school in just their underwear.
Oh, did you put the videos on the last podcast, right?
Of the Hong Kong weather? Yeah, I put them on the end after we'd already lost our own video.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Previous years, like 10 years ago, they even got like free underwear from an undie company with this run. But now, they were doing this walk to raise money for mental health. And then they finished. Then after the walk through town, they then kind of stripped down and did the run through the girls' school. So the Mental Health Foundation refused it back home on the grounds of not wanting to be associated with boys in underwear running through a girls' school, which I guess is fair enough. But it was interesting. It was like a reply to like the boys' school and the girls' school played pranks on each other, but like the girls broke into the boys' school overnight and like left notes all over the boys' lockers and in different places, and some of the notes were like telling boys to like kill themselves, and one of them in particular targeted like one boy in particular quite harshly. So the boys were like, instead of retaliating with another prank, we're just gonna turn the other cheek and do this fundraising mission for mental health to sort of say, hey, don't say shit like that to us, because it's like you can't tell people that bad for their mental health and that. But yeah, so that was
bouncing off of what you said about mental health. Chinese people are all mentally ill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it. I don't have any funny news stories, but the kind of like we all said, like the pressure of living in a city and the cost of living and just just barely scraping by, and the boiling pot of shit that Hong Kong is, it just makes people mentally ill. And there's been instances of actually how I found out about YouTube.
We've got about 2 minutes left on my recording, I think, as well. So.
How I found out about YouTube was actually from a recording of one crazy Hong Kong guy losing his shit on a public bus. And he actually turned out to be a guy who ran for office. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it was a long time ago. This was like when I first discovered YouTube. I was like, people were like, hey, did you watch that video on YouTube? What's YouTube? Yeah. That's my reaction. I was in middle whatever school. I was in I forgot what. I said, hey, do you watch that guy of the bus uncle? We called him Uncle Bus, because he was like this. It was this kid who was like annoying him a little bit, and he just stood up and he just like fucking. Just like a crazy rant, and he happened to be a politician. Yeah. Because he didn't know about YouTube. Because now you're not gonna rant to someone because you know that someone's gonna put it on YouTube. Yeah. Right? You know that. But back then nobody knew about it. Yeah. And he became viral.
You just gotta keep your rants super short. You've got to figure out how to tell people how to fuck off in the time it takes for people to reach out to a phone and record.
You can be really fast.
You could be like, you're full of shit, fuck you, blah, blah.
You can say the most racist shit, very fast, and then no more.
Then it's like, I'm done. Cut.
And then people are like, that's great.
Exactly. And then master the dramatic pause long enough for them to put their phone back in their pocket and then be like, back at them, really great. Fuck with people's mind.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're almost running out of time on my camera. We'll get a new camera someday. Well, I'll get a new camera someday. Oh, that was the sound of my camera turning off.